What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hurt coming to you with another episode of Afterlife. We talk about anything and everything that we feel like talking about, but today is a special one. I felt compelled because I see all this shit over Facebook, over YouTube, over freaking Instagram. So you know what? I was born 88 and I was raised in the 90s, so let's go from Hurt's perspective. All right, let's do it. I was raised in the 90s. You damn right, we had that long ass metal slide that was freaking hot as shit, always under the sun, probably 150 to 200 degrees, and all we wore were shorts and no shirt. And we went down that slide knowing that we weren't going to slide down right. Our shorts were going to get bunched up, the skin was going to hit the metal, and we were going to get third degree burn, but we still went down that thing. I was raised in the 90s. We didn't have cell phones yet, so how we would get a hold of somebody, we would have to pick up that phone, dial that number that we either memorized or we had a paper full of different numbers, friends, girls, whatever. I was raised in the 90s. Michigan went to the Rose Bowl. Tom Brady was the quarterback and Charles Woodson was the receiver, or he was defensive something. I was raised in the 90s. Barry Sanders was the running back, and he rushed for 50 to 100 yards a game and barely got the Lions to the Super Bowl. And Scott the Bitch Mitchell was the quarterback, or Charlie the Bitch Batch. I was raised in the 90s. We watched Hey Arnold, Doug, My Cousin Skeeter, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Kel, Angry Beavers, Cat Dog, Recess. We had the best cartoons ever. I was raised in the 90s. Pizza Hut had those red glass freaking cups. Everything tasted amazing out of them. They had the pizza buffet. They had the ice cream pizza or the crumpled pizza. They had pepperoni, meat, bacon, whatever. Freaking the pizza buffet was the shit. I was raised in the 90s. We would freaking meet up at this green electrical box that was just in the middle of people's yards or in the middle of some place, and we would meet up there and just shoot the shit as kids for however long it was. I was raised in the 90s. Every single one of us probably had a BMX bike, and we would cruise around. That was our transportation. We would cruise around all the way until it was time to head home. You knew that this time was up because the street lights came on. And if you were thirsty, I was raised in the 90s, we would stay out all day long, play with our friends. And if we were thirsty, we went and got water out of the hose, and that was the best water that you could ever have. I was raised in the 90s. We played tag, we played Red Rover, we played kick the can, we played tag football. I mean, we played wrestling because back then in the 90s, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Kurt Angle, The Undertaker, frickin' Kane, I mean, Brett Owen, frickin' man, I was raised in the 90s. Mankind had Sacco and all that stuff. Stone Cold drank beers like there was no tomorrow. Rock Bottom, People's Elbow, and the People's Eyebrow. I was raised in the 90s. Burger King, Taco Bell, and McDonald's or whatever. I might have said this already, but Burger King had Forest, had badass areas where their little characters, home of the Whopper, what's your beef, whatever. Playground was alright because it was a knockoff from McDonald's. McDonald's now, they had a badass play place. They had Ronald and all of his co-workers or whatever would be sitting at different tables waiting for you to go and chill with them and eat your shit. They had burgers, fries, and shakes for the back of chairs or whatever, and it was just legit. Taco Bell had the best 90s theme that you could ever think of. It had heartbeats. It was just amazing. I was raised in the 90s. We had freaking beepers, or PS1 just came out. It was 10 years. I was raised in the 90s. They thought that Y2K was going to happen, that when 99 switched to 2000, that the years were going to start over and it was going to be year 00. People would go buy canned foods, water, set up cruises, all that stuff because everybody thought that the world was going to end. So hopefully you guys like this video. I tried to name as much as I can. Now I'm starting to run a blank. So if you were born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, let me know what you guys remember. Let me know how you guys got through, and do you guys agree with some of the things I said, or do you remember it differently? Hopefully you guys are having a good day today. It's your boy Hurt coming to you with another Hurt Out.